Fellow greetings, my peeps and peepettes, and welcome to Can I Pull This Off? Episode 2. Today we're going to be transforming Autobot Springer from the Transformers Siege line. And just like last time, from a very long time ago with the last video, I have the instructions right here, and I'm going to leave them right over here. So you know for certain that I am not cheating here. I am going to go ahead and transform the figure from his helicopter mode to his car mode to his robot mode and then back to helicopter because that's where it all started. Right, so let's go ahead and do this. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and remove all this. So the propeller has been removed, we got his two swords, and we've got this piece, and we'll come back to that shortly. First of all, let's go ahead and remove also his guns from the side of these wings. And now that that's taken care of, we need to go ahead and explode Springer. So we'll go ahead and untab the top. We'll go ahead and untab his arms. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to come down here and starting with the tail fin, because that was my mistake when I first transformed the figure, we're going to split apart the legs. So now that the tail fin has been separated, we're going to carefully pull on these two tabs right here, because you will notice there's some stretch marks on them. Like I said, my first attempt was not perfect. Right. Anyway, now that he's completely exploded, what we need to do now is we need to untab this section here and swing this around like so. So we can pull this up a little bit so we get clearance to slide this joint in, and then take this and fold it in. Right, then we bring this back down, tab it in right here, and then tab it back into the bottom of his hand like so. Come over here and pretty much do the same thing. Untab. Right, swing this back so we can fold down, push this in, fold this in. Then we bring this back down, tab it in right there, and then tab it back in to his hand. And we're pretty much good there. So with this out of the way and separated, what we need to do now is take these bits and swing them back like so. Take this, swing it down, bring this out so we can fold down these pieces here. Bring those back in. Good, good. We're good so far. Next, what we need to do is from this green section, from his crotch, we're going to swing this down like so. So we have this going on here. And now what we can do is, hopefully you can see this, we're going to take this and we'll fold it down just a little bit on this hinge here so we can actually get clearance to tab in his crotch section. Do it again on this side, tab it in, and now we should be able to swing these down no problem. Okay, now we can completely rotate his feet down, and then we can tab these sections in like that. So we got this going on here. And next what we can do is we can untab the knees. So the lower section of his legs should be able to rotate and get some clearance here, because they're going to line up with these grooves right here, these bits here, like so. And if it untabs, that's fine. It happens. Just tab it back in once you've got it lined up just right. Like that. Might have to do a little readjusting, but it will line up. Okay. Alright. Next, we'll take this entire back section, and these tabs right here are going to go into these holes right here, and these two tabs at the very back are going to go into it's gonna go into some hole right here, I guess. These two right here, and I never really pay attention to this part. So yeah, okay. So it does tab in there, and then it tabs in right there, and that should keep this all very nicely secured, locked in place. Next thing, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that these hinges right here are completely back, like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold his arm in, and that hole right there is going to coincide with that tab right there. So we're going to slot in the back first of all, and once that catches, then we can tab in the front section, like so. Do that again, make sure that this is straight, so we can tab in the back and then tab in the front. And that's pretty much car mode right there. I mean, there's not much else to really say for it. So what we can do next is we can go ahead and, if I'm doing this right, yeah, I think I am. So you put that gun there, and then you put that in there, and then you flip these up because of these tabs right here. This is going to tab in right there. Take the sword, make sure that this is up, not down, and tab it in right there on that side, and then we can pop this in up here, and we got ourselves a turret. As you can see, it rotates. It's free moving, right? This is not a video review. Why am I wasting time doing this? So anyway, there's your full-on car mode for Autobot Springer, and it looks great. I like it. Moving on now to robot mode. We'll go ahead and remove all this. We don't need it. And this is pretty simple when compared to taking him from helicopter mode to robot mode. Right. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to first untab the arms, untab this top section, bring it up. Then we're going to bring back the legs like so, and we'll go ahead and tab them back in at the knee section. Flip the feet correctly, open up this panel here this way, fold in the spoiler, do the same on this side, fold it in, tab it all back together, separate the legs, make sure they're tabbed in correctly like so. And there's the lower section of Springer. I might have to adjust the camera a little bit, so bear with me. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this entire top section here, and we're going to untab it from this bottom here, and this double hinge here, we're going to swing it up until it's completely tabbed in at the very top, like that. Now that we got that going, we need to come over here, and we need to untab the chest piece of Springer and bring this out. Then we can bring this entire section up, rotate his head, and leave it at that for now. Once again, make sure that this is tabbed up all the way, that double hinge in the very back. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to take these clear plastic tabs here, and if we get this hinge here lined up just right, we should be able to tab it in right here. Do the same on this side here. Get this to line up right, so we can tab it in, tab in, tab in. It probably would help if I actually untab all this from the arms, and then take this, fold that in, and then fold this down, and there we go. That's one arm. Do the same on this side, fold it in, fold it down. Now we should have no problems actually getting this to tab in, because now we've got more clearance than before. So if we line this up right and tab it in right there, there we go. Now we can take this entire piece and make sure that these green bits right here that were under the bottom for car and helicopter mode are this way. And we can bring up the chest piece, and we can fold all this down, and then it should push back and tab in securely, just like that. Come to the back, and now this top piece is going to become the backpack for Springer. Make sure everything's adjusted to your liking, and as long as everything is adjusted just right, he should stand up with no problems. And There is Autobot Springer in his robot mode. Looks fantastic. Now, what we can do with all this is we can untap this section for the spinning portion of the helicopter blades. And we can just put that in the back if we want, which is what I'm gonna do just to get it out of the way. Separate the sword pieces. And we can leave the guns combined if you want. I don't even know why I'm making this part of the transformation, but it is. So, yeah, let's just get him armored up. Why not? Let's give him a sword. Just like that. And what we can do now with this sword is we have options. We can put it back attached to the propeller spinning portion for the blades, like so. You have it dangling like that, or you've got that tab right there, and on that side as well. It's your choice, and you can slot it in right here. It's not the greatest connection, and it does kind of have a tendency to untab because of how heavy it gets in the back. But regardless, there you go. There is Autobot Springer, fully armed, ready for battle in his robot mode. Now, let's take it all back to helicopter mode. So, I've never done this before, in all honesty. I have never actually taken him from robot mode and straight into helicopter mode. This is going to be a nightmare. But I'm going to try it now for my very first attempt and for your viewing pleasure. This ought to be fun. So let's go ahead and remove all his weapons here, which they tab in very securely in the hands. All that's removed. Oh, here we go. Alright, so pretty much going in reverse here. First, I'm going to rotate the head back, untap the chest, bring this all back up, take this section and bring it back down. Come to the arms if they've already untabbed. Sometimes they like to do that. And swing this up and then bring this back and then fold this out. And then we're going to take this piece here and fold that back out, and then we're going to take this darker green piece and bring that out and bring this all up, and then it should tab back into the back of his hand. Take this and rotate it all the way forward like that, and there we go. Do this again, bring this to a point where I can fold this out and then untab, swing, tap this back in, make sure that's straight. There we go. That's a good portion of the helicopter already done there. Right. Okay. Then we're gonna bring down these pieces here. Take this entire chest section, line it up like so, bring it under, and it should tab in. And then down here, right here where you see these pegs for maybe like blast effects or something, they actually tab in right here. Make sure that's still down. Right, now we'll get that out of the way. Okay, so far so good. Come in here, fold this out so we can bring back the spoiler. Do the same on this side here. Reach in and pull out the spoiler. Easier if you have fingernails. I do not. Then we're going to untab the crotch section, swing it down. Do the same on this side here. This one's much tighter, but it will come done. Alright. Swing on the green piece, not the tan piece, like so. Alright. Okay, fold this up, and then we're gonna swing this in like that. Do the same on this side, fold this up, swing it in. He's a mess at the moment, but that's how it is. Fold this down. Okay, come down here, make sure that these are clipped into place right there at the thigh. And then the entire back section is going to tab in right there. And then the tail fins are going to tab in right there. A quick jump cut later to replace my dead battery. Let's return to what we were doing. So once again, just make sure these bottom sections are tabbed in like so. Alright, so now that this is pretty much the back section of the helicopter, what we can do is take the top section here, and we're going to take all this actually, we're going to bring this down or should I say up? Yeah, that's right, it goes up, and then this green piece right here is going to tab in right there, or just clip into place, and you should hear clip. Well, it probably did. Right, anyway, if that's all done correctly, then this 2 tabs right here gonna go right here, and these 2 tabs right here are gonna go right here. If it's done correctly, you should have no problem getting these 2 tab in. Might take a little bit of force, but don't worry, it's not gonna break. It's a very nice quality figure. Right, so anyway, something doesn't look right. It's curved. I'm not sure why it looks like that. I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Oh, there we go. Alright, so now it's clipped into place. Okay. Now this is the part that sometimes really gets to me. Figuring out where this tab is supposed to go. So I think this goes back all the way, because this lighter gray piece is going to fold up like that. Now you got this tab right here that's going to go right into that slot right there where my finger's at. And you, once again, just like car mode, you want to do the back section first. You want the tab in the back before the front. And if you get this to line up right, which is very hard to see because I'm doing this on camera for the very first time here, should tab in like that. There we go, that's one. It kind of looks like it came off. No, it's in there. Alright, so once again, this darker gray piece is going to go all the way back. You're going to swing the lighter gray piece forward like that. And then you're going to tab in at the back of the forearm here. Might have to hold it down. And then tab in the front. Something's not lined up right. Should. Oh, the top section came undone. The top section came undone. That's the first time that's actually ever happened during the final part of the transformation. Meaning something's off here. Come on. Alright, now that that's back together, let's try this again. Find that slot. Find the slot, because I can't really see it from here. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Come on. Where are you? I think I found it. Alright, so if done correctly, should be able to push that in and it should all stay in pretty secure. Just like that. Okay. Good, good. This is looking good. Except for this piece. That's supposed to... It doesn't really peg in. It just kind of sits there. But okay. Well, that's a good portion of the helicopter itself. So I'm going to lower the camera here so you can see the rest of the transformation. Pretty much, it's like this. Just take the guns and put them back whichever way you want. Doesn't matter which one goes on the left, which one goes on the right. Just make sure that this gun here actually taps in right here on this wing section or right here on this side. That's how you know. And this one does not have that tab. Instead, it just kind of sits there. Doesn't line up straight unless you force it, but it looks pretty good. Alright, now we'll take the spinning propeller and we will recreate it like that. Tap this all back. And there we go. There's Autobot Springer back in his helicopter mode. So there's all 3 transformations in one video. And did I pull it off? I think so. The only thing is, it took me a little time to figure out how to really get him from robot mode to helicopter mode. Like I said, I've never really done it before. This is my first. So, you know, grade me if you want. Not much else to really address here, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video. So this is Red's Power signing off, saying thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you whenever you see me.